Hello everyone, welcome back to Tinateach Python Operators Part 2. For Operators Part 2, we'll be having logical operators and then identity operators. So this is the second part. The last part will be Part 3, okay? Let's dive into the lesson. First of all, what are logical operators? So what they do is that they combine conditional statements. Now you might ask, what are conditional statements? I'm sure you're familiar with the syntax of if and else. If this condition is true, do this. Else, do that. Now, with the default syntax, you can only do one condition, right? If this is true or if this is false, do this. If you want to add in more conditions to satisfy the if and else, you use logical operators. So subsequently, you have and, or, and, not. Let's go through each one of them. And will return true if both statements or both conditional statements are true. So both must be true. Next up is or. It will return true if one of the statements is true. And not is the complete opposite. It will return false if the statement is true, okay? So I have some examples over here. First with and. If x is less than 10 and x is less than 20, return true. If x is less than 10 or x equals 20, returns true, okay? It only needs one of these to be true. Now, if x is less than 10 and x is less than 20, if this is true, returns false, okay? Now, instead of saying and, you can put or in here, okay? Next up to identity operators. Identity operators compare values or objects to see if they are actually of the same object or the same type. And very simply, the keywords are is and is not. I'm going to erase these, okay? So is will be true if both variables or values are the same. Is not will return true if both variables are not the same. So they are complete opposites to each other. Let's say if x is 10 and y is 10, x is y will return true and x is not y will return false. Let's make this 3. Okay, I'm going to erase these. X is y will return false and x is not y will return true. Now, not only does this apply to different values, it also applies to different types. Now, I'm going to make y exactly like x, but I'm going to make it a string. Now, x is y will return false and x is not y will return true. Even though they are of the same value, they are of different types, okay? And I'm going to give you a bit of a demonstration from what we've learned so far. I'm going to create variable x. The value will be 1. Y will be 7. If x is less than 10 and x is more than y, print x is less than 10 and more than y. Let's go down here. Elif or else if x is less than 10 or x is less than y, print x is either less than 10 or less than y. Else, print a smiley face, okay? Let's go down here and let's have a separate block of code. Not x is more than 5 and x is less than 10. Another print, x is not y, okay? Print x is y to show you whether or not these will return true or false with the values up here. Now I'm going to change the value down here, x equals to y, print x is y. Contrast to save, and let's run this. Let's move up a bit. Okay, so the first if and else code returns x is either less than 10 or less than y. Okay, now down here we print if x is more than 5 and less than 10, returns false, but it is not, so it returns true. Print x is not y. It is true because x does not have the same value as y. Print x is y, which is false. And once we've changed the value and then we print x is y again, it returns true. If we leave this code out, if we leave the statement out, and run it again, the last line print x is y will return false once again. Now I'm going to change the value of x to 10. Okay, now else prints instead. Because x is not less than 10, it is equal to 10. Now you get the gist, okay? Thank you for staying to the end of the lesson. Our next topic is going to be the final part of Python operators, part 3. Remember to like and subscribe, learn today, better tomorrow, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.